Thank you so much to our sponsor, Rocket RX. Do you guys ever experience erectile dysfunction? You are not alone. Get trusted, FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower price than branded alternatives. It's delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging, no in-person appointments, no pharmacy visits needed. You're all good. And for our listeners, you can get 20% off your first order if you use promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS. Go to rocketrx.com and enter code NETTERS at checkout for 20% off your first order. Follow the link in our description.
All right, folks, the ice is ready, and we are back.
We are dead, Dan.
With
Don't say
another
we're
episode
back. We've
of
never been less
Shut Up.
back.
Just
We've never been
shut
less
up.
back. We're dead. I'm a dead
Just shut
person
up.
walking. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
All right, first of all, we're back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast brought to you by Rocket RX. But I'll tell you what, buddy, don't you dare try to turn the tables on me because I am done with you.
You're a scumbag.
I'm done. I'm
You're
officially
a traitor.
I'm
Dan,
officially out.
the seventh
I've
circle
had
of
it,
hell.
dude. I've had it.
The seventh circle of hell is reserved for betrayers and mutineers. And you have revealed yourself to be both a betrayer and a mutineer. And I will see you in hell.
I am neither, dude. I'm a deserter. That's what I am. I am not a betrayer nor a mutineer, dude. I stuck by your scumbag side for 3 weeks while you tried to drag me through the mud and murder me. And then I deserted. If you want to behead me at the gates of Winterfell for being a deserter because I left the wall, then fine. But that is the only thing that happened. You are a
I do,
piece
because
of
I'm
shit,
an honorable man, and I will cut your head off for leaving. You signed an oath.
You are a piece of shit, man. Like you're tricking everyone, dude. You tricked us.
Tricked me.
I've had it, and I'm happy that people are finally starting to realize they're learning that you aren't this nice guy, dude. You're a sick man. You have sick thoughts. You have sick thoughts all the time. And I'm so happy to be away from you, dude. I got home from this goddamn trip. You should see my house right now. It's just my shit strewn about everywhere. There's bags. There's bags. No, dude, I don't give a shit about your house. My house has bags everywhere. I've got like 7 loads of laundry happening. And I don't even know if the clothing is savable. Holy hell, buddy. What a rip. What an absolute rip of a season. We can listen, free agency is still going on, but as far as like the travel and just the absolute run, we are done, dude. We made it out.
Awards was not ideal, in my opinion. I don't want to go too hard, but just like awards at Fontainebleau, probably better on TV, honestly, Dan? Like probably better on TV than it was where we were.
We got
to figure that out collectively.
Let's get into
honestly,
that.
It's like partly on us. Like I feel like us, Chicklets, like Steve, everybody in NHL, all the big What Chaos, Laz, Curfew, who else? Like I literally want like a meeting of the minds. Chippy, Swaggy, get everybody in and let's like put our heads together and fix
all the boys.
Fix NHL Awards because it could be cool, but it's not at all.
I think, I think this. First of all, Fontainebleau, beautiful,
Sick.
Beautiful venue, amazing theater, great people there. They got everything set up, and then also everyone at the NHL who like they all work on it. You know, the venue and all the people do a great job. And then this comedian kid, Matt Friend, he's like an impressionist. He's been doing a bunch of red carpet stuff. I thought he did a great job. Like he's doing everything he can. I think the clear problem was this. Last year, I loved that it was at Bridgestone. I don't know what you thought, Chris, but like I loved that it was at Bridgestone. They set up a little stage there. Biz and the boys were on stage, helped a ton with just some like color commentary and some comedy here and there. And I liked that the fans were in an arena and could hit the concourse, get some beers, get some snacks. in the commercial breaks, like the TV commercial breaks, people were, snapping it around. There was a little bit of chatter. It was just kind of like a fun, casual vibe. Here's the deal. I don't know if people love I don't like the ESPYs, I think sports award shows are tough, dude. It's not the Oscars. It's not the Golden Globes. These aren't performers.
The Oscars
That's
suck
why
too, by the way.
The Golden Globes and the Oscars are really fun. Yeah, I mean, but that's why a lot of these shows are fun, because you've got performers and like you get big star hosts because it's their world. These guys aren't fucking paid to get up, accept awards, and be funny and do all this shit. So I think whatever way you can make it more fun, the better it's going to be. And I thought, again, like I said, Fontainebleau, great venue. I think what they need to do next year is, if you're not doing it in an arena, it needs to be in like a Golden Globe. Where are the Globes? The Hollywood,
Beverly Hills,
the Beverly Hilton. Like get a floor. They get an open floor with tables. Let these guys that come out, like Quinner's there, Nate Dogg, Cooch, all these guys have their families and friends at the table. Get some drinks going around. Get people buzzing, having fun. It was crazy, dude, when you're in this beautiful theater that's meant for like shows and plays, and when there was a TV timeout or a commercial break, it was just silent. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And it was silent because people are sitting there. There's no drinks going. There's no food going. Like, they're just sitting, waiting for the music and shit to come back. And I was like, dude, the energy here is getting zapped. So we got to just make it a little more fun for the fellas, and then it'll be great.
Dude, at one point, people, like, if you're at a rink, I feel like probably each section has maybe 20 seats. Like, if you're section 312, there's 20 seats in your row. So worst case scenario, you're sitting in the 10th or 11th row, and when you got a hose, you have to ask 10 people to move, right? You're like, hey, I got to slide by. Sorry. I swear to God, Dan, at Fontainebleau, the rows were like 50 seats long. And the dude in the middle, I don't even know what you're laughing at.
I'm laughing at the frog in your throat there. We're dying, buddy. We're fucking hanging on by a thread.
Dude, the dude in the middle, remember we were top deck, we were top titty, and the dude in the middle had to hose. And he turns around, and he's top row, dude. And he's like, the right behind him is me and you. We're just standing on like a hallway. And he's like, I'm just going to step up over there. Yeah. So he put his seat down, he lowered the seat, and he stepped on it and climbed up top. And remember that fucking usher came flying in and was like, sir, do not do that again. And I was like this, ma'am.
It's a safety hazard.
Do not host the NHL Awards here again. Right back at you. So fuck off, dude. Yeah. That wasn't it. The fucking streamers were like in everybody's face, the shadows, like, we got to get off awards. It was crazy, but that we got to fix it. We got to fix it, and we can fix it, but we got to fix it.
We can. But either way, it's great to see everyone there. I thought all the awards were right. A lot of Tampa fans who were really pissed off. I was really surprised to see. There weren't no Edmonton. I mean, I'm sure they're just licking their wounds from losing the cup. But there was such a small amount of Edmonton fans who were up in arms, like, fuck this, Connor should have won. So many Bolts fans were like, this is fucking dog shit. Cooch should have won, blah, blah, blah.
Connor should have been last, though, I think. What do you think? Like, I think Cooch had a better...
I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree. But yeah, I think Nate should have won. Quinn was a lock for me. But it was always going to be Bedard no matter what. Hellebuck was the only one, and I can't tell if my brain is like, I've got playoff brain like you had about Connor maybe with Bob. Because I do think when you look at, like, Hellebuck was so insane this year. Like, oh my
dude, he
God,
was the best goalie by
good.
far. He had a horrible first round, but like he was the best goalie by far. It was a deserving win.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
I'll say this, Dan.
You're right.
The Ted Lindsay finalists were. The Hart finalists were Cooch, Nate, Connor. The Ted Lindsay, for the people that don't know listening, the Ted Lindsay is also the MVP basically, but it's like the best player in the league as voted on by the players. So the Hart is voted on by the writers, similar to every MVP in every professional sport. The Ted Lindsay is the MVP voted on by only the players, which I actually think is a super prestigious award, by the way, which is like extremely slept on in the public.
I think it's the only one they should do. I think it was. I don't know why we care about who wins MVP as.
So I think that's so sick,
like
and
the fact that the only one that matters.
The fact that the Hart was Connor, Cooch, Nate, and the Ted Lindsay was Nate, Cooch, Matthews, not Connor. I actually thought Matthews was going to win it because the players.
Surprising.
Dude, I thought the players were like, he scored 69 fucking goals. And that is something to actually be. And I know Connor had 100 assists. I know Cooch had 100 assists. I'm not trying to knock any of the four of those guys' season. Nate went for like 50 and fucking 70 or whatever he did, or fucking 8 and more, right? Like 50 and 90 or something. Like, it was insane. My point is, I thought Matthews could have got Ted Lindsay because the players were like, God damn, dude. Well, I didn't think we'd see a 70-goal guy maybe ever again. And maybe we won't, but like if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be that motherfucker. And I love Austin Matthews. And Nate, dog, we both wanted him, once we weren't doing like betting videos and shit. Like, I think deep down, me and you both wanted Nate to win. And I think I'm so happy for him. And it's a very deserving MVP. But I wish... That's my only edit from the awards. I wish Matthews had won Ted Lindsay just because I thought that was really special. 69 fucking goals in 81 games. Like, come on, dude. Wild.
I have nothing to. I wanted to be like, no, dude, but that was special. That was a special performance. So great to see that from the boys. Let's get to the draft, buddy.
Yep.
What a time. That was unreal. Like, huge shout out to the Sphere and everyone involved. That place is absolutely insane. It was so sick. I loved what they did. All the graphics were so cool. Great vibes there the whole time. Like we said, CP, the bar was buzzing.
Hey, Dan, I got a kink in my neck, Dan.
Grand event.
I got a kink in my neck still from trying to see everything last night. Literally, I was trying to see.
Yo, for real, buddy.
I literally,
for real.
I couldn't sleep this morning, Dan. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And I just realized it was a Ducks logo that got me.
It was really funny, Chris, when we were watching, and there's the stage. You're watching the stage. Someone gets drafted, and then you look up, and they've got sometimes they're playing highlights. They're just showing photos, and then like over on the sides, there's another screen, and it's like these guys talking. It's like, the camera shot of the guys getting drafted.
And that's the biggest screen I've ever seen in my life. Here, but it was awesome. That side thing was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was only 2% of the Sphere screen.
Correct. And I loved what the teams did. Like, I loved how they were bringing up legends like Jumbo coming up to make the Celebrini pick was awesome. Niedermeyer went up there. It was just a really cool experience from top to bottom. The setup that they had there, and then just the entire ordeal. 10 out of 10 from me. Unreal draft. As far as the draft itself and the boys getting picked, love that we got the first surprise, I guess you could say, with Verbeek. Verbeek and the Ducks are the biggest wild cards in the world in the draft these days. And taking Beckett Seneca at 3 and just blowing everyone's mind, and none more than Beckett himself, dude. That reaction was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I think it's so cool that in the NHL still, every other league, dude, the teams call the kid before it happens.
Yeah.
They're at the table. Like, the NFL dudes know they've been picked. Like, everybody, the fans at home, the fans on TV, by the way, are the last ones to know, because the player already knows, the team already knows, anybody following Adam Scheffler on Twitter already knows. And then finally, if you're the one fucking plug that's watching cable TV, you find out last who got drafted by the fucking Jaguars. In the NHL, Beckett found out exactly when I found out, and that is fucking awesome.
It was so good, dude. Like, when the camera went to him, and you just see him going, "Oh my God, Oh my God. And then he turns to hug his family and you can clearly read his lips. He goes, what the fuck? I was like, dude, this is absolutely awesome. The other ones for me, like we did our last step, talking about all the crazy draft stuff. All the guys that we'd mentioned were all in there. I don't think there was any crazy ones. The cool ones for me that stood out, T. Ginla, right off the bat for me. I love that pick from Utah. Utah was just, they were there. I love the presence there. I love that Ryan Smith was up there. He was chirping the crowd. He was like, you guys are booing us. We haven't even done anything yet. So funny. And it was just
you stole the Coyotes. You did something. You stole Arizona Coyotes from Arizona. So fuck off.
Very, very fair. Very fair. And I just thought they needed to take a pick that was going to be like a name or a personality that you can really build around. And T just so perfect. He's the son of an all-time great. He's a super personable kid, really talented. And I just like looking at Tej up there in the Utah sweater, I thought was just vibes. I was like, he looks good in the sweater already. I think he's going to crush it there. That was really awesome.
Sweater was trash, though.
Chris.
Sweater was trash.
Sweater was kind of trash. It was like just black. Like it looks like the colors still look good.
I don't mean
but
this in any disrespect the way I know a comment section might take it, but it looked like a P-dub sweater. And that's not because it's the women's league, but just, you know what I mean? Like, it looked like a fucking P-dub sweater. And I was like,
no, it's because
grow up.
The P-dub, you're so right, CP. And that's because, I'll back you up on that. The P-dub is dope. The P-dub sweaters suck. Like, they just didn't name the teams, and then they gave everyone a jersey with a diagonal city name. And I'm like, well, let's get better here, folks.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, dude. The other moment in the draft that I loved. This is my favorite moment of the draft.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. You rat fuck.
Montreal gets on the clock, dude. Montreal gets on the clock. And first of all, they bring up Celine Dion to announce the pick.
Dude.
And we're sitting there. Hey, we're sitting there with the boys. Celine Dion gets called up to announce the pick. And they go to announce the pick, Celine Dion. And they do it with a nice French accent. And Whit, it was not paying attention really. He just snaps and turns to me and he goes, who is it? Is it one of the Russian kids? Salif Dion? Who is that? And I was like, dude, I'm staring at him and I go, what? And he was like, which Russian kid is that? Salif Dion? And I go, Celine Dion, buddy. And he was like, oh, fucking Christ almighty. Like, dude,
watch
he just thought
Titanic
like,
for me
Russian
one
name
time.
was said.
You fucking idiot. Dude, he actually said Dan verbatim. He goes, you did the pronunciation perfectly. He goes, he snaps. He goes, Salif Dion. And then he goes, direct quote, he goes, is he a Russian? And I go, no, dude. She is she has a 10-time
Is it one of the Russians?
That was actually one of my favorite moments. So the whole row, everybody, Army, Biz, Merles, G, Fish, Memesy, like everybody's RA is just pissing laughing. Is he a Russian? Oh, that was so good.
I was dying, absolutely dying. But then, okay, CP. So then they do take a Russian. They take Demidov, who we had our eyes on. It was like, where is Demidov going? And they select Demidov, and the camera goes up to Demidov in the stands. This kid's a fucking missile. Just a stallion. Looks big, strong, all those measurables that we were hearing about, true. His hair looks fantastic. The guy's a man rocket. He walks up on stage, and what does he do before he puts on that Quebecois Habs jersey? He kisses Celine Dion on the cheek.
Buddy. He cheeked her.
I couldn't believe
he fucking cheeked her, dude.
The confidence.
He cheeked her.
He cheeked her.
He cheeked her. It was crazy, dude. I was like, holy fuck,
confidence.
Dude. Kids know
the confidence spewing out of this kid.
Did you see his nose, Dan, in the cage? It was wider than my fucking face, bro. And I know I got a narrow face, but his nose, dude, is wider than my face. And he cheeked Celine Dion. He cheeked her.
He did. He did. I'm telling you, buddy, the confidence that's spewing out of that kid, it's going to fill up the entire Bell Center. I think that they have got a winner on their hands. Holy smokes.
Here's who I'm really happy with otherwise. I think Lindstrom at 4, not that was that much higher. Like, I think he was kind of going 5, but I just think it's a great pick. And Columbus rolling Fantilli and Lindstrom down the middle, 1-2 for the next 10 years in the dream scenario is like, come on, dude, that's fucking wild. If Lindstrom's a Quentin Byfield, who we got comped to so many times, just like a super big fucking physical tall center. Holy shit, that's awesome. I can't believe I think Salayev went all the way to 10. I thought it was a great pick from the Devils because Salayev was going as high as 3 in like pretty much every mock. And
had to do it.
Yeah, dude, that was like, and the Devils didn't need deep particularly, but I just think that was a huge value steal right there. He's in the K, so you're slightly worried about like when does he get here, but they don't give a fuck really. I don't think in terms of if it takes a year. I thought that was a great totally. Pick, Dan. Zeev was the biggest shock for me. 12 to Minnesota, and on 2 levels, Dan. I actually can't believe A, he fell to 12, and B, that was a weird. Philly was 12 and Minnesota was 13, and they traded up 1. And I was like, was Philly going to take Zeev? I'm sure they said, like, we're going to take Zeev. But I was like, well, are you, dude? Like, that was like a crazy trade and a crazy fall. So I think that's actually a ton. Dude, talk about fucking Fantilli and Lindstrom. Faber and Zeev on the blue line for 10 years in Minnesota.
Solid.
Fucking my dad.
Solid.
So, holy shit, dude. That's awesome.
Really solid.
Taking a quick break from the pod to remind you guys about Rocket RX. If you are experiencing erectile dysfunction, you're not alone, I promise you. You can get trusted FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower price than any branded alternative you are going to find. I'm serious. It's delivered to your door. I know that's the worst part, right? No one wants to order this stuff. No one wants to get it delivered and to see the packaging. It's discreet. It's plain packaging. No in-person appointments. No pharmacy visits needed. It's better sex made simple. You complete a 100% online, listen to me, 100% online quick and easy consultation right now. No in-person appointment needed. You get a free online prescription from a real U.S. clinical team today. I'm telling you, if you start right now, you will be done in 2 minutes. That's how easy it is. I have a buddy that needed this, and they said, man, I hate the worst part about it is I have to go to the doctor. I have to admit all this stuff. I have to go when the packaging comes. Everybody sees what it is. My neighbors see. This Rocket RX solves literally all of this. It's more common than you think. It's more common than people talk about. If this is a genuine thought or feeling you have, you do this, and it is a simple solve. Okay, so for our listeners, you get 20% off your first order. You use promo code NETTERS. That is NETTERS. Simple as this. Go to rocketrx.com. Enter code NETTERS at checkout, and you're going to get 20% off your first order. That's 20% off your first order at Rocket RX if you use code NETTERS at checkout. The links in our description. If this has been a problem for you, this is the simplest solve I could possibly give you. So please take us up on this offer. Go check it out right now, and you will not regret it for a second.
Taking a quick break, guys, to talk about BetMGM. You know that we have teamed up with the best sports app in the game in BetMGM. And listen, the season is over, but that doesn't mean the action stops. We're going to be getting in on all the fun stuff, and hockey included. We got free agency going on still. We can get in on action with that stuff. And then we got Euros going on this summer. We've got Copa America. There's all the baseball action you could ever dream of, and BetMGM has you covered across the board. And if you don't have the app yet, sign up with code NETTERS, NETTERS, and you're going to get a nice hookup. The best thing that BetMGM gives you, baby, is this. You get all set up, they're going to give you $1,500 to gamble with. 1,500 smackaroonies that are into your account that you get to rock with. And if you lose it, you get it all back. They literally give it all back to you. It's unbelievable. It's the best thing to do. No questions asked if you're getting into the sports gambling world. BetMGM has you covered. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. Or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. So there's great stuff going with the draft. I think a lot of teams are thrilled. We didn't see any big trades. There was a ton of talk about Natchez being in the mix. Maybe someone making a trade. We wanted to see someone make a trade for a player. Something big happen. There was a lot of trading picks, tons of trading picks, and that went through the whole thing, like the whole draft, all 7 rounds. So much pick trading as far as that's concerned. But moving off the draft into some trades here.
Because just last thing on the draft, Dan. Just wanted to say Cole Eiserman at 20.
What the fuck do you have to say, dude?
Cole Eiserman at 20 was interesting. Islanders, I think Islanders actually could use that. That's great scoring. And dude, objectively the best goal scorer in the draft going 20 is interesting. Period. And then because I'm a homer,
very interesting.
And because I'm a homer, the Bruins drafting Tage Thompson reincarnate at 25, and he'll have 60 goals in his sophomore season is pretty sick. So everybody in the Atlantic, get fucked. You let us get Tage Thompson. Thank you so much.
Saying reincarnate when he's still alive and in the league in his prime is awesome. That's
Tage
awesome
Thompson.
Thing
Tage Thompson will be rolling over in his grave if he saw the Bruins traffic right now.
You'd be like, holy shit, it's me.
Oh my God.
Okay, but moving on, CP. So we've got some big trades to talk about. So
yeah, hit me. Give me the rundown, Dan.
Tons of stuff
This is
has
your
gone
forte.
on. Tons of
This
stuff.
is your forte.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you some quick ones, and then we're gonna get into maybe the bigger ones that we got to discuss. Carl Grundstrom gets dealt from LA to the Sharks for Kyle Burrows. Caps get Andrew Mangiapane for a second-round pick in 2025 from the Flames. And we're going to get back to the Caps. The Blues get Alexander Texier from the Jackets for a 4th-rounder. And now we get into some big deals. Big stuff here. Actually, a couple more quick hitters. Jacob Lauko, your boy,
I know.
Gets sent to Minnesota for Vinny Leterrier.
Literally him
and that's an interesting one. And okay, here's some of the big ones. We're going to start with Kevin Hayes. Hazy gets traded to Pittsburgh with a 2nd-round pick for future considerations. So kind of a dump by the Blues. They were like, get out of here. I love this. I think Pittsburgh is a weirdly great spot for Hazy. I think Sullivan will be great for him. I think that they can just get a lot out of these last few years of Hazy's career. But that one I felt was really interesting, and also I'm just very curious what they're doing. How are they building that? Are they going to put Hazy on the 2nd line, 3rd line? But good dude, good friend of the program. Getting over there is a huge one.
Dan, no one wants Sid to leave.
Let's talk
more
about
than me
now.
No, truly, no one wants Sid to leave more than me. But if Sid isn't going to leave, these are the exact type of moves that actually could fix them. Not fix them, but keep them semi-relevant.
Yeah. For
the last few years, because Kevin Hayes is a great player, and to get that type of that's what they were missing, in my opinion. So I truly hope Sid leaves, but if he doesn't, then I love this trade.
Totally. Kings immediately replace what they lost in Grundstrom and get Tanner Jeannot from Tampa for a 4th-rounder and then a 2nd-rounder next year. That one's crazy to me because I feel like Tampa paid a hefty price for Jeannot. They went and got Jeannot, and people were like, holy shit, that was a big payment for Tanner Jeannot. And I guess just hasn't really worked, but is another one of these pieces in this cap dump by Tampa that we're going to get more into. So that's super interesting. So Tanner Jeannot goes to LA. Let's talk about Logan Thompson. Maybe the funniest moment of our entire lives. So
Dude.
Logan Thompson is at Omnia with us last night in Vegas. Comes up, says what up to us, fan of the pod, just awesome dude.
Yeah.
Goes up and grabs UCP, and tell everyone what happened.
Dude, so we're at Loud Luxury. We're having a rip. Logan's great, and we know a lot of the Knights guys. Obviously, we are well documented story after. We're friends with Jack, but we have never met Logan face to face. I guess that's what that means. We've never met. We've never actually met Logan. We just run in the same circles. So Logan walks up and he's like, "Hey, what's up? How are you guys? Great show. Love you guys. Love you back." And he looks at me and he goes, "Yo, Chris." And I go, "What's up, dog?" And it's like loud as shit, like it's fucking Loud Luxury. It's like pumping 5 feet from me. So I'm like, he's like, "Yo, Chris." And I'm like, "What's up?" And I'm like leaning in. And he goes, "Stop fucking saying I'm going to get traded on the pod." and dude, I am so taken aback that he said that. And I'm buckled already, because it's like fucking 3 a.m. or whatever. And I go, and I probably think I responded this way because I didn't have a filter. Like I just thought something and then said it instead of like processing it. But he goes, "Stop fucking saying getting traded on the show." And I go, "But I do think you're going to get traded." And just like look at him in the eye. And dude, he just dies laughing.
Fuck him, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, but why would I say that? I do think you're going to get traded. So I'm not going to fucking stop. So then but dude, God bless him because he is a class act for reasons I will bring up in a second. But he immediately dabs. We're already high-fiving, but like he just dies laughing. We like hug it out, whatever. And then that's it. Cause he's kind of like at the table right next to us and like he's doing his thing. We're doing our thing. Fucking Locks gets kicked out, So I'm like, all right, we got to go, dude. Like, so we bounce. This morning, I'm fucking hurting, dude. Oh my God. DP gets on a flight. DP sewers me on the story. I could have slept for 3 days. And by the time I wake up, dude.
Oh my God.
I wake up, I got a million texts, everybody, all this shit. And I wake up and I'm like, DP, I text Dan and I go, "Dude, can you remember that shit with Logan? Remember when Logan said, 'Don't stop saying I'm getting traded,' and I said, 'You are getting traded'?" And Dan texts me back and goes, "He got traded today." And I start dying laughing because I thought it was such a funny joke from Dan. I was like, "Oh, dude, can you imagine?" I respond, could you imagine, Dan? Could you imagine if he got traded today?" And Dan goes, he's traded. He's on the Capitals. And I pull up my phone, dude, and I was like, oh my God, dude. To the point that now I'm like, I have to fucking get his number from Jack. Cause I'm like, Logan probably now thinks that I knew he was traded. Like he thinks I probably looked him in the fucking eye last night knowing he was traded and said that shit. And I was like, dude, I swear to God, this hit me just as hard. And the last thing I'll say, Dan, this is what I was teasing earlier. God bless that guy because truly, he's always been incredibly nice to us in every comment we've heard from him. And then in that one moment in person, and he had an autograph signing today in Vegas that he fucking stayed for, which he had no business staying for after being traded. And he stayed and dapped up all the fans. And I actually thought that was like one of the coolest, classiest fucking things I've ever seen. Truly, that's not even hyperbole. Like that, it was fucking sick. So what an insane turn of events.
Totally.
What a really cool moment from Logan.
Totally. I mean, it was so funny. And yeah, like what an absolute beauty staying, doing all those signings. But yeah, so Logan Thompson gets dealt to the Capitals for 2 third-rounders. I want to talk about this very quickly because Caps obviously moved Darcy Kemper in the PL trade. Now they get Logan Thompson, who is their and Logan Thompson is a certified starter in the NHL. He is their starter. And the Caps, like we just mentioned, they added Andrew Mangiapane, and I just think the Caps are doing this thing where they're making moves. They have PL at center now. He's probably going to be their first line center playing with Ovi. They have Logan in net now. They're adding some depth pieces, and the Caps are operating almost as if they're like, we're in this last push here with Ovi, we're with Carlson, like we're going for a cup. And I am kind of like, I don't think you are.
Yeah. You're not at all.
I'm not talking shit. I'm just like, they snuck into the playoffs. We were like, oh, I don't think I'm bummed that they were the last playoff team. They got in. I was a little bummed that they were the last playoff team. I thought Detroit would have done much better against New York, and they got promptly swept out of the playoffs. So I'm just interested with what they're doing here, because they're making all of these good moves, but I just don't think they have the pieces to support these moves. But we'll see. So that's an interesting one. Another vague piece of Vegas news. So we've been hearing Alexander Holt's name with the Devils every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. And we got Vitek, we've got Schmid, and we've got Dawes there. And now they added Markey. So we were like, okay, one of the goalies, probably two maybe, is going. We finally get the Holtz news, and it's that Holtz and Schmid traded to the Golden Knights for Paul Cotter and a third. Paul Cotter is a great bottom six player, plays with a ton of grit, great dude, 3rd round pick, whatever. If you're New Jersey and you've got this crop of young goalies, and Holtz was a 7th round pick, a few years ago, good player, and he's been mentioned so many times in packages that included, Ullmark, and now we're talking Natchez, we're talking Marner. This return, if you're New Jersey, after a lot of great moves have been made by New Jersey, another one coming up as well, you are, I think, a little bit like, motherfucker. That is not what we expected to get when we're losing Holtz. So a lot of we've broke some stories here, things that they're doing. They're active in free agency early, and they're going to be doing more. I think much more. I think about a name like Marchessault, Chris, and I think Marchessault could wind up in New Jersey. I think that would be a good spot for him, and I know they're high on him. But definitely a trade that I think they are a bit like, fuck. Like, our fans are like, fuck, I kind of wanted more for Holtz.
Totally with you, dude. There's a few teams, I don't want to get into this because that's not this episode, but there's a few teams where like so much is on the table still. Jersey's one of them, Vegas is one of them, Nashville's one of them. So I'm really excited to see, because it's the 29th, and a lot of action today, obviously, but like, buddy, the fucking next 30th and the 1st are going to be like the next 2 days this is coming out on the 1st, eh? Yeah, this is going out on the 1st. So by the time this is out, like it's going to be popping. So anybody that's into the fucking GM
oh my god,
app,
yeah,
like I know you are, and I am. It's going to be really cool.
Okay, so here are in my opinion, the big ones that I'm loving. I mentioned earlier I loved the Ginla draft by Utah. Dude, Utah has shown, like, Ryan Smith has shown up, and this team is like, we are a new team, and we're making moves this year. Dude, they go out and they get John Marino from the Devils, which we think is a move to support a move that's coming. They get John Marino and a 5th for the 49th pick this year and a 2nd rounder next year. So 2 2nd rounders Utah gives up, and they get John Marino. Then, dude, I think the shock of the day, they go out and get Mikhail Sergachev from the Bolts for J.J. Moser, Connor Geekie, and a 7th. Now, we watched Connor Geekie ripping it up in the World Juniors tournament. He's a great player. Moser's a good, solid, sort of third pairing guy. Dude, you're Utah now, and you add Sergachev and Marino to your blue line. That's a huge, huge day. I mean, these were monster moves.
Not to mention, Dan, I can't believe maybe we can just piggyback these together. The article the other day that was like, the Bolts are not in a good place with Stammer. And I know we've been talking about him leaving, but I was like, whatever, dude, he's fucking staying. I was like, the reason he's staying for sure is because they're not done competing. They have Hedman, they have Kucherov. Like, they think they can probably wring out maybe one more cup run with this group. And Sergachev just bouncing. I'm like, oh, okay, you're done. Like, the Bolts are fucking dead and buried, bro. Good day. What's up, Rumi? The Bolts are dead and buried. And Stammer is now gone, dude. And I can't wait till this comes out Monday and Stammer's already re-signed and I'm an idiot. But I have never been more on the Stammer's gone train than I am right now than when they fucking traded Sergachev. I was like, oh, so you guys don't give a fuck anymore.
Buddy, just a perfect segue, man. I mean, that move, you move out Janot. Now you move out Sergachev. I can't believe that move. Like Sergachev felt to me like he's fucking unbelievable. We had him in our top 100 players in the league list. Obviously, he got a brutal injury, but he says he's coming back stronger than ever. Sergachev getting moved out, you're like, okay, they're moving out all this cap. That's the thing that we want to talk about now is the story that we heard is they offered Stammer 8 years, $3 million a year, which is like so insulting. He's obviously not playing 8 more years. They're just trying to like spread that contract out until he retires, I guess. I don't know. But he was like, no, I'm not doing that. And they then move all this cap out, and fucking Brisebois goes, yeah, we're not giving him another offer. We're not improving that offer. So like tons of people were like, oh, they made all these moves and now they're going to give Stammer more. And they were like, no, that's what we're offering. So Stammer's hitting free agency. I think / Stammer wants to stay. But at this point, he's getting motherfucked. I think a team's going to offer him 6. I mean, if I'm Boston, I offer him 6. I offer him a 4x6, no problem. And I just think he's gone. I think Stammer's gone. And I'll also say this, dude. I'm going to feel a little saucy here, get a little spicy. I think this cap movement is getting Jake Gensel straight down to Tampa. That is my assumption and call for July 1.
I'm hearing Gensel to Vancouver, just to be clear.
I'm hearing Gensel to every team in the league.
Yeah, that's true. But I love Tampa, Dan. My God, I love Gensel to Tampa. But I'm here in Vancouver.
Yeah. I really think that's in the works and coming.
Tragic end for Stammer for me, just because I love him as a player, and he's not done as his career. Like he'll make a bid somewhere wherever he ends up.
Yeah,
he's gonna score 40 fucking goals again. But I wish, because it felt like he wanted to stay. Not like, I know that's not really a thing that much anymore, where it's like you gotta stay on the team. But just felt like he was like, dude, I'm happy here. Like I love this team, and we won a bunch of cups, and my family's here, and my kids were born here, and all that shit. So it'll be interesting, but I love chaos, and I know you do too, so that'll be cool. Let's talk a little Toronto Maple Leafs blue line, Dan.
Yes, well done, CP. Perfect segue, buddy. He's back. I still fucking hate you, but you are back. That was a good switch. There's 2 more that I want to talk about. Chris Tanev, great one. So Chris Tanev, rights to sign have been traded to Toronto for a 7th round pick. So now Toronto gets first crack at him in the next 24 hours here. There was no deal already in place. As of now, I haven't heard of a deal. But Chris Tanev, awesome, really strong shutdown defenseman, has a chance to sign in Toronto now. I love the move, but this is also one of those funny things where we're just, you know what I mean? Every single tweet, everything we're hearing is people going like this. Exactly what Toronto needs. This is exactly the move they needed to make. And I'm like, how many times are we going to hear this, dude? Like every time they get Giordano, they get McCabe, they get I can't even. There's too many to think of. They just get all these guys, and everyone goes, "This is the D-man that they always needed. This is going to change everything." Now, Tanev's a fantastic player, but it's interesting. I think the big one that I've got my antenna up on is, are they going to overpay the shit out of him? Like Tanev has had a great year as a shutdown guy, and there's just been a lot of talk about Chris Tanev all season long. And I think that his price has been bumped up, and he's 34 years old. And I could just see them giving Chris Tanev 4x6, 4x6.5. And I'm just like, oh God, I don't know how good that's going to look in 3 years.
Dude, I agree. And it's funny because I'm like, yeah, but this is the best one they've got. Like the Leafs are always like, we got McCabe, we got Giordano. And I'm like, come on, dude. But this one, I'm like, oh, okay. That actually, like, Tanev eats minutes, eats pucks. This is a good pickup. I think it's a great trade. We'll see the deal. I also heard, though, Dan, today that they're getting Zadorov, too. And if the Leafs...
Zadorov is... I would be shocked if Zadorov went to Toronto.
I
don't
know, but
think
I'm just telling you, I heard that. I'm not from like a guarantee, but I'm telling you, if I heard that from someone who knows some shit, and if the Leafs go, hey, this summer we got Zadorov and Tanev, I'm like, oh, that actually
that's big.
That would be
great.
Big. Yeah. So we'll see, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
I would have to eat some crow on like, sure. Oh, here's the Leafs again doing this is changing everything, and I'm like, well, no, actually, this is changing everything. Like if those two things come home, that actually does change everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm with you. And then okay, my last one, not a trade, but bummer for me. Buffalo buys out Jeff Skinner. So Buffalo buys out the last 3 years of Skinner's contract. It's tough. Skinner was making a lot of money, and the last 3 seasons in Buffalo, 80 games. This is in 21-22. 80 games, 33 goals, 30 assists, 63 points. 22-23, 79 games, 35 goals, 47 assists, 82 points. And then last year, this past season, 74 games, 24 goals, 22 assists, 46 points. So big drop off last year. I mean, he was coming off an 82-point season where he was absolutely fucking buzzing with Tage and Tucky. He is so beloved in that locker room. He's so beloved in the league, just like such a good dude, great player. And last year was just, let's be honest, across the board for everybody in Buffalo was not a good year. They were much worse than they wanted to be, than they thought they'd be. I think Tage had a down year. I think Tucky had a down year from the year before. So it just sucks to see that, everyone kind of has a tough season and Skinner gets bought out. It's 3 or 6 years now that they will have to be buying out his contract, and it's spread out in weird ways. I think 26, 27, it's like a $6 million dead cap hit in the buyout, which is tough. Otherwise, it's like 1 to 2 spread out over 6 years. But they save some money. Skinner's now gone, but also now means that Jeff Skinner, who is in my opinion, a lock 25-plus goal scorer a season, is available. And he's the type of guy, I think you put him in a good locker room culture, which he will blend in with immediately because he's such a great locker room guy.
Yep.
You put him with a talented center, Chris. You put him with a good line and a good team that's not getting beat up defensively. I think Skinner could just be right back in that 80-point space. And who knows? Maybe we see this as a buyout that Buffalo's like, fuck me. And like they felt like it wasn't ever going to work, but they're like, Jesus Christ, watching Skinner have another 80-point burger.
Bro, I couldn't agree more, man. And I'm actually sad for Buffalo. And watch me be like dead wrong, and the Sabres finish third in the Atlantic next year, and like they finally fulfill their destiny, and I'm an idiot. But I'm just like, damn, dude, this is extreme. But this to me, my knee jerk felt like the Tarasenko Ottawa trade, where Ottawa was like, we're doing something. We got Giroux, we got Vlad, we got Brady, Stützle, and like all this shit. And then like it was such a white flag to see them ship out Tarasenko, where they were like, fuck. I was like, oh no, that's why I'm so low on them next year already. This to me, I was like, dude, what are you doing, Buffalo? Like you are like, I was trying to take this year as a total outlier, blip in the radar, whatever. We're fine. And it's going to be okay. Believe in the core. And then they're like this, we're buying out Skinner. And I'm like, what, dude? Like everybody loves him. He's fucking good. Like, and again, I like Buffalo. Yeah. I hope they make the playoffs next year. But that to me, I hated this because just as like a fan of the team, as an outsider fan of the team, I was like, fucking Christ, dude, this is a nightmare.
What's also nuts, Chris, is he had a full no move clause. And I'm surprised that they couldn't find anything. Like there was no trade to be made there. No one would take Skinner. There's been a lot of trades of guys recently that we've been like, wow, I'm surprised someone, took that contract. Skinner's contract's not that bad, and maybe he wasn't waving, but I don't know. That's a crazy one. You got one more for us. Hit us up and
last thing.
Close us out.
Rumor boys. We're hearing Sam Reinert's staying for a pretty good discount. Panthers are doing something special, and he's a part of it, and he's bought it. And Sam Reiner could have easily left for like probably over 10. And we're here, and he's probably going to stay in Florida to try to win a couple more cups at under 10. And good for him. And I'm fucking thrilled for him, to be honest.
Yep. Absolutely, totally thrilled. We said the other day, you hear a lot of stories about the Boston Bruins locker room culture and their just franchise culture. It's best in the biz. Florida's doing that now too. I think the way that locker room has bonded, the way that those guys are just rallied together and want to stay together is something special. And the fact that you got Reinert out here who could make, this or that somewhere else, we talked about with Jans. The no state tax helps for sure, but yeah, what we're hearing is it's no questions asked. Rhino's staying. He's going to be a part of that project for the foreseeable future for a long time. And it's, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Like, he's so good there. Everyone is just such a fucking unit there at that team. And I love the move by him. And it's just, when you see this dude, it's just, I think it's inspiring for not just Florida and other guys in Florida, it's for other guys in the league. It's like, this is what it takes, man. Look at what they're doing. That's because of guys like this buying in. You absolutely love to see it.
Dude, let me just, we're done. Great chat, Dan. Great to see you, buddy. But let me just read you, the top 6. I wanted to talk about the top 6 Four Nations that got announced.
Yeah, good call. I like that.
Okay, listen to this. Canada, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon. Let me just pause there real quick. That's fucking crazy.
Absurd.
Come on. Brad Marchand, Braden Point, Cale Makar. 5 forwards, 1D. Team USA, Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Charlie McAvoy, Quinn Hughes, Adam Fox. 3 forwards, 3D. Team Sweden, Willie Nylander, Mika Zibanejad, Philip Forsberg, Victor Hedman, Erik Karlsson, Gustav Forsling. 3 forwards, 3D. Team Finland,
So good.
Sasha Barkov, Mikko Rantanen, Sebastian Aho, Miro Heiskanen, Issa Lindell, and UC Saros. 3 forwards, 2D, 1 goalie. Finland, the only team that names a goalie. Canada, the only team that only names 1D. Who do you like? Who's the favorite after the first 6, Dan?
Listen, I'm obviously a homer, but I don't know how you look at the I love the balance too. The 3 forwards, 3D that USA just named. Like, in what world does that team not win? I think it's unbelievable. But that's funny because when you read the 6 of all those, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. All these teams are so fucking good. But I'll tell you what, man, it's these tournaments, it's going to be all about depth. And I do think personally, everyone's going to be so good, but Canada and US, I think the depths at this tournament are going to be so insane. And also respect that Canada is like out here naming Sid and Marchand, like, no doubt they're in the top 6. They're like, obviously these two are here. But buddy, how fucking hard are you for this tournament? Like, naming those guys. Naming all those guys.
I saw these lists, bro. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Let's go.
Oh,
I want to go 6-on-6. Everybody name a goalie. Whoever has to pick the goalie, but let's just go 6-on-6. Fuck them, dude. This is insane. Holy shit.
Yeah. I am absolutely torqued up over here for this tournament. Now, I will say my one parting words on this. I don't know if these teams are going to be naming more than 2 goalies. I can't imagine. I imagine they'll name and roster 2 goalies. USA has such a brutal decision, dude. Like, you got Sway, who I think is the lock starter, no questions asked. If you don't have him as your starter, you're fucking dumb. But then you got Hellebuck and you got Demko, and I'm like, good Lord. Like, that is, whoever doesn't get named, that is so tough.
It's crazy, bro. We have the best I can say we have American. We have the best goalies. The fucking forwards are nasty. The D's, actually, I thought Team Sweden actually looked sick. I was like, damn, because, like, I don't know, Finland, everybody looks sick, but I was like, Sweden looks nasty. Hedman, Karlsson, Forsling. But I was like, we got Chucky, Quinn, and Foxy. Are you shitting me? And then Matthews, Tkachuk, and Eichel. Get fucked, dude. So it's like, come on, bro. I can't wait. Fast forward me to fucking All-Star break. Let's go.
I cannot wait. All right. Well, that's it for us today at the Empty Netters podcast. We're going to be dialed in. If you guys are listening to this, it's coming out Monday morning. We're going to be going nuts with free agency stuff. So get on the Twitter, get on the IG, follow along with everything. But CP, get fucked, buddy. I'm so glad that I'm not with you right now. You are just such a pervert. I can't
have to go to the UFC fight with Biz, Dan.
I know, you're a sick man. You're a sick man. I'm so happy that my liver is not near you for a little while. So enjoy, survive somehow, you freak. And until I see you and until we see all of you guys,
Skate hard.